Previously on Viva La Cosplay.
I'm over here working on Azrael. I was focused earlier on like all the outside pieces of the costume, like the cloak and the armor and straps and stuff like that. I've decided to go back and put a little bit more work into kind of the undergarment of this thing.
We thought this was all we needed. Turns out this is a joke. So we got the big guns. Turns out the other blade wasn't quite big enough for how big our wood is.
The coolest thing about cosplay today is that I'm not wearing any pants.
But right now I'm working on my Emma Frost cosplay, actually. I've started it already, but I decided to work on the cape for Emma Frost.
We have success! Or at least we now have one foam blank that's actually in the correct hateful shape. And it doesn't look like much yet, but once I add the flowers part of the Night of Flowers with hot glue and smooth over some of these little bits of blue seepage, either by cutting them off with the X-Acto knife or by filling it in a little bit of putty, we will have hateful elbow things.
Scary?
So scary.
Big enough?
I think so.
Pretty good motion. Move the fingers.
Move the fingers. It's not a real power fist, can't move the fingers. Look at that.
So sad.
I don't like to watch that, actually.
And they look pretty good, but the way I constructed them, it just didn't work. Basically, the handle was also the finger movement mechanism, which was basically this little clit thing, and it didn't work. I didn't like it. So I remade them out of Sintra, so they're much harder. They move! They move!
This is where we learn. This is where we teach. This is where we make mistakes, but greatness is achieved anyway. This is Viva La Cosplay.
You know what could make this video 20% cooler? Hipster glasses. I just felt like wearing these. So, something very exciting just came in the mail. Aww. My voice changer came in the mail, yay! I'm holding it upside down, yay! $12 voice changer on Newegg because Newegg is super trustworthy, so I always like going through them to get like computer parts, things like that. Computers. So I got my voice changer. Turn it on. It has just like a few simple options, but it's better than nothing, I guess. So let me find the right one again.
Hello? I am a robot meatbag.
Oh, so this is my female voice. That's a super annoying. My, you're a tall one.
Oh, Master, I'm so disappointed in you right now. No, don't look at me.
Okay, that's enough.
Girls can't use power tools.
Unless they're cosplayers, they can.
Today a mustache day, Justin?
It's sad to think that the only way either of us can have a mustache is if we put it on our face.
It's the power of cosplay, baby. I'm not ashamed to say it, that I'm a cosplayer. Outdoors, where my neighbors can hear me sanding, which I'm about to do, or they're watching me tape myself right now, which is really weird. I'm gonna be sanding this bad boy. So this is the base of HK's helmet head. But since it obviously has lines for when I put the individual pieces together, I need to sand that. Now you can sand Warbler, you just need to be careful because it'll obviously with friction it'll heat up, and once thermoplastic gets heated up by a certain temperature, it will start to melt. So you just kind of need to be a little bit careful when you're doing that. So we're gonna sand this Warbler, sand it down, make it nice and smooth. The top doesn't need to be done at least because there's gonna be a big piece over right here. So we won't worry about that. We got to worry about these side pieces though. So I got 4 areas to sand. Okay, so this is baller. Check this out. So when you're sanding it, heats it up just ever so slightly, and since you're pushing down on it, it actually takes a little bit of that extra Warbler, kind of glues it in between the edges. So like right here, I still have to sand a little bit more, but that line slowly starts to disappear. And it needs a little bit more work to go, but this is definitely working. Let's sand in the 90-degree weather because cost life. This is what we do for our projects. All right, sanding time. Woo!
Feeling a little under the weather, Andrew has more than cosplay struggles to overcome.
I apologize for how I sound. Traditionally, con crud is acquired after the con, but I decided to make things interesting and take advantage of the first week of school by getting con crud early. So, in the meantime, these are the elbow pieces. I've made them and I have covered them in pretty shiny, I don't know how well you can see it, but the shiny is hot glue. I use hot glue for everything, except a lot of people use it instead of sewing. I sew, but I use hot glue for all kinds of decorative things that most people use Warbler for, because I am broke.
Richmond is coming up this month, and I'm sure you see the other members of the cast working on their cosplays for it. I was trying very, very hard to go, but unfortunately I won't be able to make it. However, because I've already got the supplies I was using to make my Stormcloak cosplay to go, I am still in my living room working on it, and I'll still, video and document what goes on with that for the show for y'all, and I'll find something to wear it to, hopefully. If not, I'll just have a cool costume in my closet. So I have all of my pieces laid out that I will be sewing together. This brown is going to be making up the fur armor, and all that will be worked on tomorrow because it's dark outside. I'm tired. I'm going to go play some Fallout, and I'm going to go to bed.
Wizard World is one of the most anticipated conventions of the year for most cosplayers. There is an intense costume contest and cosplayers of the highest skill levels. The Zin crew prepare themselves for the day.
Here's an update on my Queen of Pain cosplay. I've been struggling with the horns, and that's part of cosplay, I find, is more often than not things don't tend to work out. Initially I made horns out of clay, which I really actually like the way they turned out, with the intention of doing a latex mold and then casting them. Plan B came, And then I made these horns, which are okay. I made a pool noodle and I shaped it. That took about 4 hours. And then I wrapped it in this foam. I'm still not happy with it.
Hi, I'm Sam. My opinion's so much better than everybody else's.
I don't have any emotions. I'm pretty much just stoic all the time.
Somebody tells me that I'm wrong, I get very aggravated. That's the only other emotion I have. Nicolas Cage is the best actor ever.
I love his face. I wish I could be Nicolas Cage.
If I could be a man, I would be The Rock. Except Fast and Furious 7 was super lame.
Yeah,
even though it was actually really awesome. Jumping from 2 buildings.
It's so impractical.
That wouldn't happen. I'm so good at making weapons and armor.
Yeah, I make things in a day while everybody else takes so long.
Yeah. I'm just so much better than everyone else.
Hey, is this even this time? Yeah.
Yep.
Good job, your hard work paid off. Yes. I'm so happy.
The ladies have made great progress, but their time is running out.
Alright, so we are now T-minus a day and a half until Wizard World Richmond, and I'm freaking out just a little bit because there is so much left to do for my costumes, and I don't know if there's enough time. So I grossly underestimated the amount of time that I would need to make the wings for my Queen of Pain costume. I've spent probably close to 15 hours so far on these wings, and they're not really working out the way I wanted them to, which is expected in cosplay. I think that if I had a little bit more time it would be okay, but since it's on Saturday and it's Wednesday night and we are going to be leaving on Friday and at the convention Friday, I don't really have a lot of time. So I put the wings on the harness, tried it on last night, thought everything was good, and then the wings just fell off. So we are now doing Plan B. Sam is helping me, which I'm really glad that I have him to help me with all these things, because he's a lot better at these kind of logistics than I am. On top of the wings, I have to finish the horns, which was another thing that didn't really work out the way I planned. And then I have to do a couple updates for my Demonette, which is the costume we are going to be competing in our Warhammer 40k at the contest. So those needs to look actually really good. So I'm trying to figure out what I should be doing, and I have no idea, and that's not really okay.
Okay, well, back to the cosplay. God. I've added more details with the 3D paint. I've actually constructed new armor. I now have the other arm completed. As you can see, it's much different than this arm, because this arm is more of a defense kind of arm, at least the way I picture it, and this one's more for attacking. The cool thing with this guy here is that he has retractable blades. I am currently working on the mechanism that goes within this slot here that will control this going in and out.
Matt finishes detailing his armour pieces and finishing off a wooden sword before moving on to his mask.
Okay, so as you can see, that turned out fairly well. I got the main details now. I need to put rivets in the face part here, which I'm actually going to use my rivet trick that I already showed you with the Dr. Doom rivets. And basically all it is I take an X-Acto knife and I cut a piece of hot glue really thin in little slivers until I have nice, perfectly round glue rivets that I can just super glue on for detail pieces. Alright, so I'm testing out this fiberglass resin Bondo. No respect. I'm testing out this fiberglass resin Bondo on some of the foam pieces. I've decided to go ahead and test it on my arm blades because this is a piece that's going to be really easy to make if it messes up, or remake I should say, if it messes up. And also if I choose not to do it on anything else, At least my blades would not be so flimsy if this was the only thing that works out. But anyway, we're going to test it. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this.
Matt finishes coating his armour, but is having second thoughts about his cosplay lineup.
I've had to make a drastic decision yet again, not to wear my new Doctor Doom. It's just, I'm not ready. I'm not fully happy with everything yet, and I'm not going to rush it. So instead, I will be doing Azrael on Friday. He's pretty much 100% done. All I have to do is find the right kind of pants, and I'll probably be finding those the day of, but I know exactly where they are and where to buy them and how much they are and all that fun stuff. So they're good. I'm not worried about Azrael at all. But to replace Dr. Doom, I have decided to bring Darkwing Duck to Wizard World. He was a hit at KatsuCon. He was a hit at Virginia Comicon. He was a hit at AwesomeCon. Wizard World is a good place for him to be, and I think that I want to compete in Darkwing and maybe give him one last hurrah for a little while, because I don't plan on wearing him to any conventions next year. I've been wearing him a lot recently, so it'd be really cool if I competed in him, and who knows, maybe win something with him before I put him away. But if not, doesn't matter. I've had a lot of good times in him, and he's gonna always be one of my favorite costumes that I've ever made. I'm excited to bring him to Wizard World. It'll be a new crowd, and I'm sure I'll be playing the game called No, I'm Not Howard the Duck. I'm not Howard the Duck. Howard doesn't wear a purple suit and a cape and a hat.
Where we're going, we don't need goggles. But we need them. I mean, this is going to be dangerous. Wear goggles. So we did some sword work today. Working our swords. I wasn't fortunate enough to be able to just have the handle be part of my blade like Jesse's was, where we're going to kind of build down from it. So I actually had to mount mine into the handle. Working with what I had, the one screw I had wasn't long enough, so I had to put another one through the other side and trim the top off using my cutting wheel on the Dremel. Now that didn't really work quite as well as I had thought, because I didn't have the blade flush to the handle when I was drilling my hole. So then I kind of had to very generously fill the gap with hot glue, and now it doesn't really wobble anymore.
Failure isn't fatal, it just fucking sucks.
Back at Jamie's house, the Hodges brothers are cosplay scientists.
Spandex test numero dos.
How far does it go stretch?
Tests indicate so far it'll stretch probably at least 20 feet, maybe. Well, don't let go.
Fourth coat of paint here. Hoping this one turns out good. Usually the last coat you do is the best one. So your second coat will look better than your first coat. So that's why I always skip the first coat. Just go straight to the second one.
Jesse works diligently on his wooden blade, knowing it is the last thing he needs to finish before the convention tomorrow. Local to Richmond, the White Tiger Films guys did not have to endure the journey the others did. But regardless of the distance, Jackie, Jessica, Sam and Nikki all arrive in good spirits. Stepping onto the convention floor is unlike anything else you will ever do. you're transported to a new world, a new reality, one devoid of stresses of the outside world, one that lets you just get lost in something that you love. Having previous engagements with Wizard World, Jackie joins the team not only as a member of the Viva family, but as a Wizard World special cosplay guest, panelist, and cosplay judge.
We're one of the newest members of Viva La Cosplay. She is a special cosplay guest here at Wizard World. We're going to let her talk a little bit about some stuff that she likes.
Super cool stuff.
Some like cosplay stuff.
Like the good teacher she is, Jackie imparts some of her knowledge onto her audience.
You can add amazing details to all of these things with epoxy sculpt. And that stuff will stick passively, it air dries, it doesn't need to be baked, and it doesn't crack like a traditional paper clay or paper mache. So it's a non-cracking, super hard, sandable, very durable clay. So if you start on your phone and you want to add details to it, you don't have a warbler, you don't have a heat gun, you can always go the epoxy sculpt route if you're nervous about it cracking or falling apart. So I use a lot of weird things when I craft, and I've experimented with the new Warbler Transart. You guys have probably heard of it, a lot of people are using it. It's $96 for a big sheet. That's a lot of money. I like it, you know, just because I love Warbler, but I like cheap alternatives. This stuff is super cheap. This is acrylic plexiglass. It smells like your Barbie shoes that you melted against the heater as a little girl or a little boy. It smells terrible. It's awesome. You get a giant sheet. I just bought huge sheets for $24 or $28 for huge sheets of it. It comes in this color, orange, blue. As you can see, light naturally passes through this and glows. It's amazing stuff, and it doesn't fade unless it's left out in the sun forever. A lot of signs are made out of it. If you cut into it and engrave or embellish, it also will pick up extra light. It's amazing stuff. I wanted to create something that glowed without having to put LEDs through it, just because I didn't feel like it really. So this is the one half of a bow. It'll be a full bow like this. Looks like crap right now, don't judge me. Everything looks like a kindergarten project until it's finished. And if it does, if your stuff looks bad, just keep going, it's fine. It all always looks bad. I created a bunch of flames, I added glitter under it, cool, whatever. There's gonna be some details on the trim, but this is a nice, cool, already orange, super smooth surface that I don't have to do anything to, so that part of the prop is gonna be finished. It sticks to the Warbler really well. It does require an acrylic glue, or cheap alternative, pure acetone. I wish someone had told me that before I ordered the glue, because the glue is really toxic. That's how you can attach this. I heat bended this. I heat formed this one right here with my heat gun. So it's curved, as you can see. So I didn't actually have to attach, or I didn't have to cut tons of little pieces of it. That stuff's not hard to work with, inexpensive. Do it outside because of the smell, but for the cost, you can get some really interesting looking props with this.
It's contest day. Cosplayers make their last rounds on the con floor before heading up to the stage room to be lined up and organised. Jackie switches costumes and takes her place with the other judges. The cosplayers are ready. And it's showtime. The thrill of getting on stage. The gratitude when hard work is appreciated. The time spent and obstacles overcome, all leading up to this moment. This beautiful moment on stage when a cosplayer goes from just being a person in costume to a real-life superhero. The judges make their call, and the winner of the Wizard World Richmond Best Group Cosplay is Zin Studios.
dress both ways.
Are you warm? Because your whole head's covered.
A little bit.
A little bit?
Despite Zin's victory today, Jessica is still very stressed about the last day of the con.
So it's really late and Wizard World is right now. We are staying at Sam's dad's house, my father-in-law's house, and we're doing some late additions, finishing ups to our costumes, and I'm painting horns and I hate them. I just want to go to bed. I found a heart. Oh, it's a sign. You're gonna find true love this weekend. This weekend I'm gonna find true love. I hope so. I think he's sitting right there. Oh, buddy. And I'm working with this little mess.
That looks like a dog.
This is what I'll sleep with tonight. Oh. This will be my cuddle buddy. What's its name? Ferguson. No, wait, the snail's named Ferguson. This is Ambrosius. Ambrosius. So yes, now I have to clip it all to my head.
Despite things coming down to the wire, everybody has their costumes finished just in time. The team, the family, return for one more day of convention awesomeness. Crowds gather around them as they pose for pictures. The ladies of Zin Studios look as if they'd stepped right out of a video game, covered head to toe in armor. And Sam completes the exceptional trifecta. The Viva crew are happy to meet both visiting and local celebrity cosplay guests in an effort to always learn something from a fellow artist. As the final day of the convention comes to an end, our cast is enjoying every last moment they can before returning back home to normal life. However, normal life for one of our cast members will never be the same. Elana gives us some shocking news about former Viva cast member Devin McFall.
He's set to come home from his training sometime in October, and we've decided that when he comes home, we're going to get married. We will most likely be moving, which means I will miss the 2-day Comic-Con, which is the show's finale. I love everybody on this show to death. I am blown away by all the support we've gotten. It's very sad to walk away from something that seems to be just only getting bigger, and you want to be along for the ride and you want to be there and see what happens and just genuinely love everybody that you're working with, but I love Devin more. I'm willing to go wherever the army takes him, even if that means I have to miss things back home. As per usual, I'm here to screw it all up for everybody.